Isaiah chapter 7, verse 14 was written about 700 years before Jesus Christ came to this earth. Therefore the Lord himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel. The minor prophet Micah was also written in the 700 BC time period, 700 years before Christ. And he gave us another prophecy. But thou, Bethlehem, Ephratah, though thou be little among the thousands of Judah, yet out of thee shall he come forth unto me, that is to be ruler of Israel, whose goings forth have been from old, from everlasting. So Micah says someone that's been from everlasting is going to come forth out of this little town of Judah called Bethlehem. And we fast forward and we look into Luke chapter 2, and it's the story of Jesus' birth. And you have Mary and Joseph, they're up in Nazareth. And the 108 miles, you can look it up on your maps on your phone, 108 miles south is a little town called Bethlehem. And she is great with child, and Mary is great with child, and they have to make that journey when she's about ready to bust with a child. They make that journey. It's a 2-hour drive in a car. It's a long ways if you're walking or riding a camel. And they get down there and they have Jesus in Bethlehem. Did they know they were fulfilling the prophecy? I doubt they did. And there was no room for him in the inn, right? So they had that child in a manger. And if we look back, so that's pretty amazing prophecies fulfilled right there from Isaiah and Micah. And we look back even further. And we go back to the book of Exodus. And in the book of Exodus, which was written 1,400 years before Christ, 1400 BC. And the book of Exodus, just to give you a summary, that is when the nation of Israel, Joseph and his family, Jacob and his family have been in Egypt for 430 years. And Moses comes to set his people free. And plague after plague after plague comes upon Egypt, and they won't let them go. And finally God says, here's the last plague. And he says, I'm going to kill the firstborn of anybody that doesn't have the blood of a lamb over the doorposts of their house. And he tells them to take a lamb, as much as they can eat. Okay? And if you've got a small house and it's just a husband and wife and you can't eat a lamb, well, invite some more people into your house so that they can be saved by this blood of this lamb. And there's lambs killed all over Egypt that night. And it was such an important event. Exodus chapter 12 says that it now will become the first month in the calendar for the nation of Israel. And on the 14th day of that month was going to be called the Passover. And that's the night, the evening, that the lambs were all killed. And of course, if we read the story, if God saw the blood, he passed over those houses and didn't kill the firstborn. And they were protected by the blood of the lamb. And here's the prophecy. In Exodus chapter 12, the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. Not this family will kill its lamb, and this family will kill its lamb, and this family will kill its lamb, and all of Israel will kill all of these lambs. No, it says the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening on the 14th day of the month. And it's one thing if Jesus just lucked out and was born in the town that 700 years before he was born said that, hey, that's going to be where the Messiah comes from, the Son of God's going to come from. It's another thing to be born of a virgin. 700 years before, Isaiah said that would be the sign. It's another thing for Jesus to be killed on the 14th day by the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel. And if we look at what happened, that's exactly what he pulled off. You know, you can't determine where you're going to be born, and you can't determine how you're going to die unless you're God. And Jesus Christ was born of a virgin. He was born in that little town of Bethlehem to fulfill those prophecies. And lo and behold, he was arrested and he was tried, and Pontius Pilate presented him right in front of the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel, and they said, kill him, crucify him. And there he was on Passover evening. On Passover, in the evening, killed by the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel. John the Baptist said, behold, the Lamb of God, which taketh away the sin of the world.